Me did young antechua, and maybe I'm discovered for you, Pacuma Busia for Ghana. No, me used to tap send. No fee mobile money transfer. Aye easy, aye convenient, aye fast, and sounds so free. Won't you share? Me discover aye map him. Tap send. Intienne, also download the tap send app no ever mobile phone so free. Na first ka komo abusuya for Ghana fa na nyina. Tap send. Papa no.
Everybody check now. Check it. Check it. The beat is real. Don't wait, make it kill ya. Get your green select glucometer and check it. Sugar level, check it. For check it. Green select glucometer. Check it. Put sugar level for check it. For check it. Reselect glucometer. Everybody check now.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Now, is it true that Hiplife music is dead? That is what a documentary running on BBC Africa is saying. That in Ghana, you can't a young typer and as a general of music, a man Ghana, Yetimi are very active in the music space in recent times. In this our generation, there is no way we can ignore Hiplife. Of course, in the early years, na high life music and na a bojumano. A bra number 4 bermu, our bra for Bessie, number 4 the new for biaba. A best friend of Kasahari, or Bruni friend rap. A buy no at the Ghana so economy power nyumu. Emma yestati, Emma a reasimina etienka. But the idea, yam to follow. In a documentary I need BBC, I know. Yasi Hiplife no, and maybe a chairman a obonso can say Hiplife no it would have been any young ye. Anna antimony at the Hiplife no. Oh, Raffle, yeah.
About killing the game. No, Raffle.
Oh, Raffle never correcting. Saving the game. It would have been antimony there. Watch me now. Now, recently, documentary via across the BBC, like I said earlier, almost like Kabim say Hiplife no ABC that be enwuye, ABC ewu. Also saying ewu na enwuye. Yanko heard documentary ni kakra bi, yanko sre BBC for documentary ni ehwe kakra bi eba. Na ma bi sama pamfo say Hiplife no. Okay, okomfo kwade. Okay, Lord Kenya. Okay, Achame. In fact, bebre kwa enkase Miss Belmo omuna former artist. Omuna na omujemu as na Hiplife no omu pushing it ding. And then I say Hiplife no awuno. Eyampa. And then na mana enwu so adenti na obeka say enwu. So this is just a portion of the documentary, and this documentary is currently running live on BBC Africa YouTube channel. So you can also go there and watch the full documentary and understand the conversation about Hiplife, conversation about Afrobeat, and the fact that one of our own, M.anifest, who is also a rapper, and off air, Mr. Na was asking me, say, now no M.anifest, no then no, and I'm say ABR or who knows so a hip hop artist, and I say BB, and Tina Umpes or Becca say or a Hiplife. Now the big question is, do you also agree that Hiplife is dead? It is no more in the system. Let me start this with Mr. Na Yanko.
Ramidasi.
Okay.
Okay, so Hiplife, in short, no, it's an amalgamation of high life and the hip hop.
Yeah.
All right. So high life is melodic, and then the hip hop being the rap aspect. So what happened during the inception of Hiplife was the fact that we had a singing part. Okay. Which is usually the chorus, and then the verses were usually the rap.
Yeah,
you know. So it had a lot of. It's also opened the doors to a lot of featuring, you know, where Abia me and main artist, no, me a rapper, and so many voice I did to you. Not just a map be a or name tour.
No,
singing a pass, nah, me
Oh,
the
the
rap.
rap. Okay.
So that was a culture that actually came on, and it was nice, you know. We had the proponents, the producers of the time, you know, the JQs, the
Hammer.
the Hammer, yes, Hammer was very, Zap was there, you know, and so the OM studios, you know, they were all very big on that, you know, and it generated a very beautiful culture, you know, from the like late 90s, 2000s coming forward, you know, yeah, the age name.
I know. Most maybe tree man answer come on. Maybe tree.
So, Hiplife almost became like the contemporary face of Ghanaian music at a certain point in time.
Okay.
It gave birth to the TikToks. It gave birth to the Bravo,
but a good number of them.
Yes,
the Tinies,
or Comfort Quadets, so them all came through it, you know. And so, we for once, we thought we were building on what used to be the high life, you know, like the contemporary version, you know. And I'm afford there, you know, the high life was also moving alongside very beautifully, you know. So the story now, say manifest say, okay, what he meant to say was that the people couldn't was that every music genre kind of evolves, you know,
and there might be best song,
and my simple question is that the fact that it is evolving, does it sort of phase it out altogether, and now we can maintain the name and still add on and take some out? You know, that's a question Anka Menyanka Obe and Salman, you know, because the Indian maybe say or no, what type of music or you know, if indeed he's into hip hop, hip hop has had lots of offshoots, you know. We've had the cranks coming out of the hip hop. We've had the drill, you know, but the name hip hop is still there.
Okay.
What's he saying? So we can't say.
But there are even different type of hip hop beats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we can't say the fact say offshoots abemuno, the hip hop is dead.
Okay.
It can never be the case, you know. So we can still have our hip life, you know. Big ups to the Papa Reggie, right? Good. So we can still have our hip life and still allow the variations to happen. At a point, you know, you say a bit more dear sound, say Jama. Say no, so there's a whole conversation. JQ line. But and sound say Jama yanko fadien. The Jama thing was very, very. It sort of resonated with our culture. You know, who can show now how baby now, you know, that's the rhythm. Correct. What I say? But that was JQ. Uko Hamadiansoa, Oti very heavy kicks. What I say? And also come on. And see, as typical of us as Ghanaians, we had the variations, and that's what makes us a beautiful people.
Okay.
What I say? We are gifted and we have variations. So it's like pejamana no afa. Also pe hard cakes na no so afa. What I say? Morris Monso dear any mu baby. Abua kukonti ba ni nyoma we dio so boni na o me na be nanti mu. You know, so I think say the variations are very, very good for the development of the genre.
Okay.
But it doesn't necessarily mean say we should wipe it out altogether, or it doesn't mean say I did not ayra.
But now I'm sure Manifest will say what he's saying, because how many people today are producing songs that maybe some say what genre is this? I can't say where your hip life.
Okay.
I'm sure so. It might not be said bibia chingy kesebia or the
yes.
But the people are not even calling it hip life. I'm sure that is what Manifest meant by Hiplife is dead. Because they are still doing the rap alongside the singing. Beat the corner no more.
Yes.
The same bass line is near and none of good. But if you ask them what genre of music do you do? Why they can Hiplife?
Because they've been swayed into thinking, say, Hiplife, when you go to the music platforms, officially Hiplife is not listed there.
Yes, it's not.
It is not.
Yes, it is not. What I say. Now when the correct.
So if it is not there, how do I say it exists?
Good. Because at a point in time we fail to acknowledge it. We are all trying to look for the easy way out. Afrobeat aye boy. Then a big name. What I say, if you find a buy. Now how did it get listed onto the platforms? Can we find out how it got there? And then can we also, let's say, push our Hiplife thing to make, because I remember I think it was the same DBB, so a similar documentary has been done on the Hiplife itself.
Okay.
What did I say? And so it is something that's been acknowledged worldwide. Say it's a journal, standardized journal of music from Ghana. What did I say? Even this Azonto thing that came was an offshoot of Hiplife.
Yes.
What did I say?
Yes.
And Azonto traveled far.
Yes. Azonto was an offshoot of Hiplife.
Just when we were supposed to plug in and start reaping the benefits, Azonto, no. We always had a way of bastardizing the whole thing. I don't know, maybe I don't know. But say Rastaman they can't throw one stone, you're finding we be near no, you know. But I think the thing is still there. If we are serious about it, we should name it. We should put some value on it. We should put some premium on it, and then push it out there, because it already has the acceptance, the global acceptance. And once we start, we'll get there. We should not always look for the easiest way out, because Afrobeat, Nigerians they will drown us out of it.
Okay.
So what I say?
No, they have done it already. It's
they
not
will.
as if they will.
What I say?
Yeah, sure.
They have done that already.
And we should go back into our corner. We should go back into where our strength lies, and push ours. Make a Roland is smiling, but it's not impossible. I think, say, we have it.
Okay.
What did I say? I fail to decide. I fail to agree with Manifest. Say, I didn't. Maybe I'm being over patriotic, but yes, that's how it's got to be. If you don't protect yours, nobody will protect it for you. What did I say?
Okay. Thank you, Ro. What do you also say to this documentary and Vibe say Hiplife is dead now?
So I want to ask this question on top. Between Hiplife and Azonto, now, which one would we consider as dead?
Now, offshoot, you know, first the main one, offshoot in the bed now. No, I say a tree with a branch. And I can say tree, Nakasano, and a branch in the
I want to build a point, but I'm part of Sician. Yam fan say a one in we and to but besides say Azonto ne Hiplife. Near the Yakase Yibaku Sia, Yam Pushia, or Yabichusu.
Oh, Hiplife, obviously.
Exactly. You know why we choose Hiplife? It is because there is an institution that has been able to keep it standing.
Which institution is that?
The Music Award Schemes.
Okay.
Even the people, the originators of that.
But you see, Roland, let's be very honest with ourselves. I agree. The Music Award Schemes have something that is keeping the Hiplife thing. But the artist now, say we hip hop Hiplife song of the year or hip hop Hiplife artist of the year. Do they claim Hiplife?
And on maybe.
Yes, because board no. Almost okay based on the element in the production. We think it is fit for a Hiplife category. Not that sure. But the people themselves, they don't even call it Hiplife.
In Wuye no. Omo was Debia, Omo Farmer Music Award Schemes. Because if they also had let go, like the way Omo create our body projects, Nankasapo let it go easily now. And by this time, ye hu ne try kwan kra to sa azonto sisi akwaka se push azonto people will see you some way because ye kwasha se free him. But if now we say we want to push Hiplife, we have a starting point, which is now identified. Say, okay, we are Hiplifers. Why? Because we have a base from the award schemes that are awarded Hiplife Song of the Year, Hiplife Artist of the Year. And that is where the conversation will start from. The only problem that we've had in this country is identifying as far as the thing is evolving. And no a problem. See, the high life, cry the originators of high life in this country, in the crown. After them, the people that took over, even to the bugger high lifers in the crown, suffered the same fate. Oh, yeah, Papa wait, your high life. When Kwame Eugene started and was shouting, high life music, we all saw the conversation around this guy. Oh, the high life, then your papa. When your high life, papa, na high life, the high life, na yenti and ponsa wom. Now, or no, and then the crop for you now decided that, okay, if this is how we are going to suffer with high life, now you try to identify your owner. Let's go and join Afrobeat.
In fact, your man, a high life king, cry,
what?
So, other than your man, a high life king.
But that was another way of still holding the name. Regardless of how it has changed. See, somebody like Kojo Mphi, who say who identify Kojo Mphi sounds by about 95% reggae.
I agree.
But Okoniba, he's seen as a high life artist. That is the only way we can protect General. Now, say Afrobeat was people are fusing it with Amapiano. Why? It is still Afrobeat. Opa kofa kete krabe shape. They will still call it Afrobeat. They will never call it any name because the moment we try to we have offshoots of it. Yes, offshoots need a beba. But if we are not able to maintain the base and the fact that somebody has added a little element to it, we still want to change the name and give it a different name, we will lose focus. And that is it. See, the only reason why we still can have a even high life conversation in this space is because we still have people who identify themselves as high lifers. Now, Kajame Patano Bia Sukasi, a jai high life. Now, say a mouthful, a tree or move few get to be a Afrobeat, Afrobeat. So,
yeah.
Time a month for Chiomo Kitwebi during the Hiplifers days, someone you know, Chiomo say a Hiplifers. We all saw the fate of high life in this country.
Yeah.
And now that Omuninasa Chiomo said now, Ubisobia, oh, so what genre of music do you do? Oh, I am Afro pop, Afrobeat artist. Yes. Even Manifest, who is saying Hiplife is dead in the crown, says, oh, question about you more. He identifies himself as first a hip hop artist, then a Hiplife before R&B and Afrobeat artist. Can you now say your love? But first, for identifying him as a hip hopper, even before he comes to the Hiplife. But if the time now Hiplife be a huge conversation from Ghana, even in Africa, we still had. It was so.
Because Nigerian artists, they were all coming here.
People, they were even identifying themselves as Hiplifers.
Yeah.
That is it. And another one has to do with it not being the perception of it not being commercial. Because people don't see it as commercial enough for them to identify themselves with it. But the first point of call would have to be you first identify, say, who you say. Before you it can be like a bit more enticing amount for say you're commercializing. Now you've detached yourself from that thing. How do you expect to commercialize it? It will be very difficult. People are springing to Afrobeat now, not because Afrobeat is one of the toppest genres. It is because they see it as commercializing, and that is the hip life conversation now. So if people, the ones that are saying it is not dead, Emma the music award schemes for still maintaining, because me sure says if they are filing for nominations, artists are filing for nominations. hardly say who Hiplife. Jana Bakupo's obi contest. It is this same award schemes that put pressure on them to say yes, we know you submitted this song as Afrobeat, Afropop, whatever. But due to the element, we still feel that it has Hiplife in them.
Will that still mean that it is existing? Because Onoa or Nenyum say and Hiplife, but because you are looking forward to place it at some categories for your interest, you know, or say a Hiplife.
Say you say one kasa umpe.
But still the person does not.
Yamawa award na sa obeji.
And I'm say, or no the obeji because he's just looking for something. But or no engine to say no
and American, but the
award organizer no no interest no person or TV.
It is that hallelujah point. We still have people who are divided to say Hiplife is dead, Hiplife is not dead. Sisia, we are man for 10. Now be someone say it's a zone to dead. I can tell you say you get 10 people who say it is dead. Why? Because ye no biampo betimi akase o me ya azonto. And we have something to identify azonto with now. So about 10 people choosing 10 will tell you say it is dead. But now we can have 50-50 because there is a group of people and institution who are still protected, even if the originators themselves are not doing it. They should blame themselves because see the music consumers say they shouldn't come and blame the media or even the music consumers. They should blame themselves because see any genre of music that has ever been in existence, it is not the consumers that give it a name. It is always the creators. You were in this country when you came. Say, hip hop, any high life above. Into your friend Hiplife. And you shoved it in the throat of the people. Did they contest? No. They just consume it like that. You will come out see hip hop. Yajiatu. Edimbi or one of our say we're a friend in Jollof. What should we do about it? So now, if that name is dead, who do you want to blame? I don't want any musician to come in the space and come and say Hiplife is dead and the media has a role to play. No.
If you listen to M.anifest very well, he was saying something, say, he thinks the stakeholders, they were supposed to manage this growth now about a revolution about music. Because when a new sound came, not a sounding azonto no, and a Hiplife too and a friend azonto. Even in Ghana, you need a wedding. Anka ebimumpo introduce you as a kind of genres.
Hip dia.
Ebra a Sonny Chiba. I started Bonnie Bia Mayonnaise Sonny Maba. Sat I'm not a friend. Hibia. Anka Ankofobinia confidence and so koyebi. Wait, get the cat over the face to see you were Hibia. And a hip can't buy but hip change number that is hip life. But yeah, boy, they say anybody don't know to me. Unlike Azonto, if you see a Sako doing Azonto, a Gasmila doing Azonto, so many guys doing Azonto at the time. Yes. And then, you know, I want to kind of agree with M.anifest, who thinks that Hiplife is no more.
Oh, me, I want to say it is sleeping.
It's sleeping. What is sleeping?
It is sleeping because
just a quick one. I think part of the reason is our inability to technically describe the genre. Sieka high life, how do we describe it technically? Sieka hip life, how do we?
Mr. Na, if we want to describe it technically, describe that technical description. It is just right now we have Afrobeat sounds that are infused with Amapiano. But when you go on the online stores, there's nothing like Afro piano.
but some musicians have mentioned Afro piano.
They mention it with their mouth. But when you ask them to who identifies himself as an Afro piano artist in this state now, no, they mention it with their mouth. But there's nothing like Afro piano even on the digital stores. Oh yeah, Afro ketekrana, it is still Afrobeat.
Okay, so Roland is of the high belief that Hiplife music is still in existence. The only factor is that wada ya wano panibia manada panibone amanada. Could you come through Hiplife? It would have been Hiplife.
And I say a fish. Much in hurry until we watch it. Shout out to Brafo. Yes, and you know with the feedback. Me share documentary, you know. Me share names now. This is not fair. I saw Kwame Eugene, Kiddy, Eno, Manifest.
But there was Pangin.
Yes, and I'm like,
it was not balanced.
Hiplife wasn't.
But Reggie was also there.
Good.
Who is the originator of the
genre?
When
we have more views based on what they know, and Obia they carry importance. So I felt like Hiplife wasn't well represented, because we are supposed to see names like the Kenyans, the Brafos, who are able now. I saw a woman, I'm not betting me a cast story, not even Manifest. Because I'm not surprised Manifest will say Hiplife is there. Because Manifest, I think, came in around 2015, 2016. Even Sarkodie will understand Hiplife, the Hiplife story, better than a Manifest will do. Eti Okase Hiplife, it wouldn't be so surprising. And Obrafo they would have made a good statement about the general. Because Onuankasa Onyebi, the onwe from his view, no, I take that now if we are making a documentary. I like to say there will be a part 2 or something. But I hope say no we will see some of these figures in them so more about the Hiplife story. But in no, it was a good documentary. At least I threw light to our music space. But some time ago, no, there was this vibrant genre and was doing well until whatever happened. One thing about I like what he said about say, they are not able to anticipate and also read the environment to know the changes that is available, and that is one major problem that we have here. Say juma no a share your nimu okay you bought and painting share be a fee and na edu achira. How would the system be, and what are the available changes we need to adhere to and adapt ourselves to, because we have within the micro and the macro environments, you know, we need to scan through that. The micro within ourselves we can deal with it, but the macro, there are certain changes you have no control over them unless you adapt to it. And to say issues with sound, how these people will be singing will change. We just need to identify them and adjust to that setting. By a trawana between it's about 2 years, yes, I did ya say, once and now almost yen on so. And I didn't call Anna say I do. Almost say, you are more. So near the distance now, once a sample for not theatre. Omunim yananka. Guso ya nanka mobile pick everyone. Once I know fade off. Now and Colano so the almost because other sounds be influence no. Then almost some do new way I never before you realize not there. Your backbone now fade off. It's DBI is like you do be at 10 years near your people
why the ironing now
near starting before from it we won't move forward. Yet to me achieve greater and issue about why the buy why in the and no need the main queen or Ghana had Hiplife for him to call my core. Oh, yeah, rap did that. Reggie by near rap did that. And just say, oh no, but yeah, album no did in the torso. What do you have to so?
And that was how.
Oh, that now you're not the thing.
Now you're now friend is saying.
Oh, yeah, friend is saying now the thing. And yes, they be am casting Reggie. I don't do royalties be as or do the
being the originator of Hiplife.
Or do royalties be a was we be a you could Chris card to account to one. David. It is said that no so can mean you have been pested there be you have a casse as soon as see and a Dubai. But yes, oh one and now way dear. But Obi Ban or be commercializing until see the man say or no the buyer and your bonnet. And then in that can be said, even Regina Mukrai said, oh, I dream you a person who dear. That fight from his colleagues, no, a bit me up on the bump. I can so, Charlie, my baby, I think someone saw more a documentary be a Nagre Munina on YouTube. A person push here, empha, and that then a higher our industry, how we are able to sustain and socialize. High life. Emrana echo Hiplife ni bamuno, there was a gap. 2 months and not high life for no over you was in ten. I'm afraid your master no a DNA, and then I'm de rap near the adi no munina awful. It's not we not be taking over. Anka continuously what more ya deal idea muyi it's nice it's no yanke kaya home more yanke kaya home mom me kai those days na oma him pose obi no akofa erama badunum bi no I remake
yeah
as to mu na ya probable and those tracks were beautiful and that was the way to go. And one problem no omo can start here no they were not professionals. The early days music executives, no, most of them weren't professionals.
What do you mean by they were not professionals?
Good. So who is Kenya? Na me yanyu tinu ma ba. Oh, boss me wa nyum who. Na on discussion. Oh, but only interested in that you make iska, and that was enough. The Jamaica professionals, let's say, obi a professional no will be able to forecast, anticipate, read the music environment, and identify all the possible changes. And then a man, computer age, internet age, you know, a bit hate you. Now who say a Jumana say they are done stream. So if we can't do away with if see this any do maybe I say the Jumana the essay. But Sanka channel nene distribution network now they could have migrated online.
Okay.
Nanka no etikebia despite no creating an app be. Na send you know this new shops no creating app no say bianca boom play and I said despite online. Na say no ni send there go. But before you can do that, as I said, by 5 years before that innovation, what me say na good say na ba you know I started and kakran say be chiwa you can never do it because ana Ghana hanon so you was there say we are quick to replace especially when we see innovation at the phobia but we are so quick to sideline the old one. Existing one that thing obaku bi yakato it is a culture and one forgetting say Adiwe has been an institution that millions of people are benefiting from. Eti utwam no utwa amanfo bebre adwuma omanu adwane na utwa egu no hwesi this amanfo na benefiting companies are no omutwa CDC omo import artists emudididi omo mba koton with street mu printers and all of that. You can't say all these things went down the drain, all these institutions, and when you quantify it, and yes, kaketwa.
But see, I'll talk. I was
what must say? So, Anka, it should have been and kakrani migrating into that system, so that see the phone also at the prepare. Okay, a crime okay. This is how the changes will be. It's young kakra, but when to me, sad, you know, and I can say most of them weren't professional. They all learned on the job. it is hard no make us say hard na di Ghana music nya the inability of the music early day music executive to anticipate the changes in the environment, you know, normal prepare more their face, you know, it the Ghana music nya. That was the downfall of many of our hip life or high life musicians, you know. So because they were wiped off totally from the new system. And up to date, I feel they be more struggle to even penetrate. The system has been there for over a decade. Okay. But still, some high life and hip life musicians are struggling to even penetrate into that system. Exactly. But that wasn't their job. That wasn't for them to do. It was those music executives, no. And then some went to buy and almost some other businesses on bay. They just moved and channeled their energy into that business, leaving these people alone. And then so Hiplife no, it is just a matter of fact say obi ayenom no say Hiplife.
But the problem is that artists are kese na omo kromo as so omo yenyum start friend Hiplife na who say oh it is true Hiplife is still there no. Now nobody is ready to lay claim to it. If say Sarkodie ne Black Sheriff countryside almost friend Hiplife, then we can all say, yeah, Charlie, we are still doing Hiplife. But Oko bisa say Black Sheriff ni sako the countryside there. You ain't in Biombeka.
Afrobeat,
Afropop. Enti, more still mo gidi say Hiplife one. One na Hiplife.
Because.
Kojo, who is doing Hiplife in Ghana?
Because they say who say they are on their own. There is nobody, there is no agenda. I say, okay, you are crying more than the bereaved. There is an agenda. So comprehensive will be adding and what say, let's maintain this. Then Obia will love to associate himself to it. But at the end of the day, no Sammy Major Bomb was saying Hiplife. My colleagues are doing well with the other journalists and making money for themselves. So then if our music unions move to maybe the ministry, and so to me okay, all these things here are treasure my boy. I keep weaving our culture because you could see those days there was a certain culture around our music. The high life, the hip life wasn't so different from the high life we were enjoying. Well, you could get your singing and you could get your rap. So say, one rap na se krana, obi to singing fe bi wa sia. Me kai diom we mu man we like mensa any nana mamu was some numbia. Those adults mo kwadum those times. Lucky is a high life but those wives were all eating into the hip life. It even said exactly
high life go.
You see, it was beautiful. It is say your effort to be the sellers me can say your high life hours. Now we need me see you go try is the go front to be 10 about. Oh my God, so ministry the high life hours about. And I say Hiplife awards. They say well we need Hiplife song of the year. You go try it to go 10 floor tamoa. Oh yebi. Obia jemu intino now no so the year global village the ebebo as a business person. Ni ebebo am and na me. Said extra me enyum na me friend Hiplife. You can't tell me Hiplife is dead. But we are not associating ourselves to it. It is a manifest because ewua. In a way, Odika, literally Odika. Yeah. Because Otranania, Obianua, oh yes, Obianua, technically, he is right. Obianua, oh yebi. Until say be a regiment TV, so I know because so Hiplife say no. Minim Obi or didn't want to say, may Hiplife. Even now, high life no cry, no. Among folks, and Yamin America say, may there be a high life, straightforward, no apology.
I want to collapse. Collapse. You take it to the hospital.
we can always start from somewhere. If really say omo make influence with the general no. I think say a force on them to put themselves together and make sure say legacy no it wouldn't wipe off because they are still alive. The TikTok of Bradford, Reggie Stone, Lord Kenya, and all of them. Bandana no so you have life.
Yes.
Yes.
Bandana from
the dance song.
But still,
no, Moko was Hiplife.
But still, if we are looking for people to come and tell that story.
Yes, Moko was Hiplife.
Of course.
And that song you
And I don't know how this initiative came. Is it how it came? And is it
as in the
BBC?
Oh, a reporter. Yeah, no, a reporter saw the need to do this.
I do wrong. Said Ghana ni a musician say oh yeah, I'm father. And that is why you a DB woman. Because if you are registered or yeah. Another person will find it a problem. Say any other than you say, oh, now, yeah.